everybody, I'm John Nash with Ukulele Inspired. Thanks so much for tuning into another episode of Insight. Today we talk a little bit about major scales and what happens when we transpose them into keys other than C major. Most of us are already familiar with the C major scale and know how to play it. The notes that we're playing in the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, are all natural notes, which makes it the most simple major scale to understand because there are no accidentals. Be sure to check out this other Insight video where we discuss melody and how we build them from the 7 notes in the major scale. We can view the major scale as being a melody, and just like any other melody, we can transpose it or move it into any position we want on the fretboard, as long as we keep the intervals or the relationship between the notes the same. So if I play the C major scale here, and I move to a different position on the fretboard, let's say I go to the note E, here, as long as I keep the relationship the same, then I'll end up with a major scale just starting in a different position. Understanding that concept seems simple enough, but what's tricky is when you move out of the key of C major, you're not playing all natural notes anymore, so it can be a little more difficult to know exactly which notes we are playing. Be sure to check out this other Insight video where we discuss chromatic scales and all of the notes that we can play in Western music. Let's look at what happens when we move to the key of D major. If we start on the note D, and remember our major scale formula is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So what we're doing is starting at D and we're going one whole step up to E. Here we want to go another whole step, but there's actually only a half step between the notes E and F. So the note that we're actually going to is F sharp, which is the note between F and G. So the notes are D, E, F sharp, and then we go half step up to G, and then another whole step up to A, another whole step to B, and again here there's only a half step between the notes B and C, and then we need to go a whole step up to C sharp, and then a half step back to our root. Once you get to the 4th fret on the C string, all of those notes you can actually play on the C string. So if you wanted to play that scale straight down the strings, what you'd play is D, E on the open E string, F sharp here, G, open A on the A string, B, C sharp, and back to the root D. See if you can figure out some major scales on your own and figure out exactly which notes you're playing. Remember, the relationship stays the same, or the melody that we're playing, but we have to make some alterations with accidentals in order to make the major scale formula work. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Insight. Be sure to subscribe to stay inspired.